Action.
Hi everybody. Today we're going to learn about how to find volume. What is volume? Volume is how big something is. Volume is the same thing as size. Volume is calculated in cubic units. So if you measure using centimeters, you'll calculate the volume in cubic centimeters. If you measure using inches, you'll calculate the volume in cubic inches. Remember to always include units whenever units are involved in calculations. Here I have a wooden block, which I'm going to use to calculate volume using centimeters. The volume formula is length times width times height. So with a cube, all three numbers will be exactly the same. With the Kleenex box, the numbers will be different. So I'm going to go ahead and get my ruler, find the centimeter side, measure. This side is 3.6 centimeters. I think this is a cube, but I better make sure. I'm going to measure a couple of other sides and make sure I get 3.6. Okay, that one's 3.6. This one is 3.6. And this is also 3.6. It is definitely a cube. So the length, the width, and the height on the cube are all three the same. My formula is 3.6 times 3.6 times 3.6 will equal the volume. As you know, we do all of our math in science class using calculators. If you do not have a calculator, your phone will have a calculator, so you can use that. So here I go. 3.6x3.6x3.6 equals. Notice, I entered the numbers exactly the way they're shown in my equation. When I look to the screen to see what that came out to, it is 46.66. 46.66. I rounded to the nearest hundredth on that. It was actually 46.656, but you know the rules of rounding. You can round up on 0.5 or better. So to the nearest hundredth, the number that I get when I multiply 3.6 three times is 46.66. Remember, I measured in centimeters, so that means this is cubic centimeters. So my final answer is 46.66 cubic centimeters. That is finding volume using length times width times height and measuring in centimeters. For this larger object, a Kleenex box, I'm going to measure using inches. So length is always whatever is the longest measurement. So in this case, length will be across the top. That is, let's say 9 inches. Very close to 9 inches, we're going to call it 9. So the length is 9. The width is across the top the other way. Whoops, that's centimeters. Got to make sure you're on the right one. Okay, this is 4.75. 4.75. That's because it was 4 3/4, and in decimal form, 3/4 is 0.75. So 9 times 4.75. The height is how tall it is. Measuring in inches, this is 3.75 inches. 3.75. So the numbers that I'm multiplying are 9 times 4.75 times 3.75. Even though we use calculators to do our math, we still write down all the numbers that we are using to find our answer. Got it? Okay, good. So now let's multiply this out. 9x 4.75 x 3.75 equals. This is 160.31. I'm rounding again to the nearest hundredth. 160.31. And since I measured in inches, there's not really an abbreviation for cubic inches, so I'm just going to have to write cubic inches.
Right.
Now, if I were to round to the nearest whole unit, 46.66 would round to 47 cubic centimeters, and 160.31 would round to 160. And that is how you find volume using length times width times height. Next time, you'll learn how to use the quick and easy way called the Archimedes method. Thank you very much. Happy science!